we have now the single craziest Elon Musk interview that has ever happened, which is saying a lot. His Don Lemon interview was pretty wild. He's had other CNBC interviews. And I think this was with, at least CNBC was broadcasting it, a conversation with Elon Musk that went off the rails. Cute jacket, though. We like his jacket. And he was in a very bitter, bad boy mood. So let's just get right into it. Here's him talking about his compensation and saying it's not about money, but I do need to be paid well. But it's not about but it's not about money, but I want money.
I think the value of that pay package stands at about $100 billion. Are you saying you are relaxed about the value of your future pay package? Your decision to be committed to Tesla for the next 5 years, as long as you are still with us on this planet, is completely independent of pay?
No.
It's not independent. So pay is a relevant factor then to your commitment to Tesla?
It's sufficient voting control such that I cannot be ousted by activist investors is what matters to me. And I've said this publicly many times. But let's not have this whole thing be a discussion of my alleged pay. It's not a money thing. It's a reasonable control thing over the future of the company, especially if we're building millions, potentially billions of humanoid robots. I can't be sitting there and one day get tossed out by, for political reasons, by activists. That would be unacceptable. That's all that matters. Now let's move on.
Okay. Well, just one question.
Now let's move on.
Well,
It gets so much crazier. It goes off the rails. But first off, it's not political activists who just for personal reasons want you out. It's that you tanked your entire brand by deciding you were going to go and dismantle the government and take away people's programs that serve them. It's not that, oh, people don't like that you like Trump, so they want to go after you for no reason. It's that you caused the Tesla brand to become toxic, so them kind of wanting a different leader of the company makes sense, which might be the only way they can recover from the brand damage you have done. Let's move on. What a creep. What a jerk.
I am become meme.
one question before we move on to other companies, which is that I wonder if some of what has happened to Tesla in the last few months, did you take it personally?
Yes.
And did it make you regret or think twice about your political endeavors?
Now, podcast listeners, he's still there. He's just staring blankly. Still staring. Still staring.
Because it is...
I did what needed to be done. The violent antibody reaction, and I'm not someone who's ever committed violence, and yet
The violent antibody reaction? So are you agreeing that you were a disease that needed fighting? That would be the continuation of the metaphor. Did you just classify yourself as a disease, Elon? And of course, as he goes through this, the whole meltdown is notable, but obviously any violence is completely wrong or destruction of property.
massive violence was committed against my companies. Massive violence was threatened against me. Who are these people? Why would they do that? How wrong can they be? They're on the wrong side of history, and that's an evil thing to do. To go and damage some poor innocent person's car, to threaten to kill me.
Those things are wrong, correct? He is correct on that. His delivery, strange. Who are these people? What are they? Are they even people? Maybe aliens came from a different planet into this, but probably not. What a loser. But I agree that destroying random people's Teslas, what? That's insane. That's insane. Or threats of violence is terrible.
What's wrong with these people? I've not harmed anyone.
Okay, don't say I've never harmed anyone. Something is wrong with those people, I agree. One guy pooped onto his hand and then smeared it on a Tesla. That's a self-own. You now have poop on your hand. On your hand, sir. So I agree, there are some crazy people. Saying you never harmed anyone, though, that's just not a correct statement. We have proof that people are dying because of the cutting off of aid for disease treatment.
So something needs to be done about them. And a number of them are going to prison, and they deserve it. And more will.
You're referring to the attacks on Tesla showrooms, but I think
bullets into showrooms and burning down cars is unacceptable.
Yeah.
Those people will go to prison, and the people that funded them and organized them will also go to prison. Don't worry.
But wouldn't you?
We're coming for you.
Wouldn't you?
Those people.
What the hell is that?
Those people should be prosecuted, but I think, Elon, the best thing would be if you just stop doing PR. Your PR is really bad. It's really bad.
But wouldn't you acknowledge that some of the people who turned against Tesla in Europe were upset at your politics, and very few of them would have been violent in any way. They just objected.
There we go.
To what they saw you say or do politically.
Well, it's certainly fine to object to political things, but it's not fine to resort to violence and hanging someone in.
We all agree on that, Elon. That's not the debate. The debate is it reasonable to oust you from your companies because you have made them so brand toxic? The plummeting of sales is not because of violence. Maybe that contributed, and that's terrible. But it's because we saw plummeting before property damage started, and it was people not wanting to buy your cars because of your name attached, not because all of a sudden I see people try to make a hypocritical point. Wow, liberals used to like Teslas and now they don't. Who are these people? What are they doing? What creeps, right? There'll be sort of that vibe, like it's a contradiction. No, it's because they don't want to support the guy who is dismantling the government. That's what really harmed Tesla here and abroad.
Effigy and death threats. That's obviously not okay. That's absurd. That is in no way justifiable at all.
We agree.
In any way, shape, or form. And some of the legacy media nonetheless have sought to justify it, which is unconscionable. Nope. Shame on them.
No one has.
Let's talk about your...
No one has. No one did. No one in the mainstream media did. Okay, we have another great part, but I think we need to go back to this because you're about to hear Elon really back away from politics in many ways because I think he's scared that the ouster efforts are going to work. And so we go back to the video that producer Cole, Clean, Beautiful Cole, put together to honor Elon's time and bid him adieu at the White House.
Thing to do. What a creep. What a jerk.
Oh, that's the wrong part, but that's the perfect part. Let's begin here.
I'm not just MAGA. I'm Gothic MAGA.
The left wanted to make comedy illegal, you know? Like, you can't make fun of anything. So then it was like, comedy sucks. It's like, nothing's funny. You can't make fun of anything. It's like, legalize comedy. Yeah.
I'm making fun of something right here, Elon.
And become me. Legalize comedy. And we
What an evil thing to do. What a creep. What a jerk.
So good. What a creep. That's what I've been referencing this whole time. What a creep. What a jerk. It's so interesting how I believe he has intelligence, obviously, in certain areas, but how all of that intelligence to understand certain mechanical things, maybe, even though he mainly just bought companies, but whatever. Well, I'm sure smart, yay. But whatever can't be directed towards hiring someone who could teach him how to at least pretend to be a person, like pretend to have normal social skills. What a creep. What a jerk. Who are these people? I don't understand. They're evil. I never hurt anybody. I am become meme.
Legalize comedy.
All right, let's keep listening.
You've talked about $4 billion a day being saved.
Oh, by the way, please do click the subscribe button if you appreciate the show. And we're doing a live show in Austin, Texas. Oh my goodness, July 5th. It's going to be epic. So many people are getting tickets. It's pumping me up. Make sure you get your tickets. Link in the description of this video and the podcast platforms. And you can go to lukebeasley.com/live to get your tickets. Austin, Texas, July 5th. And I'll be meeting everybody and talking about stuff.
You've talked about $4 billion a day being saved. But that won't get, which is, and I think everyone can agree that combating waste and inefficiency in government is a very good thing. But if you add that up, it's not going to get to 2 trillion over the lifetime of Doge.
I'm sorry.
The 4 billion a day, if Doge is going to run till next July, is not going to get you to $2 trillion. But you still say it's your aim, so we'll take that as read.
There's what Doge. I mean, I feel you're somewhat trapped in the NPC dialogue tree of a traditional journalist. So it's difficult when
Some of our viewers want NPC, non-playable character, like in a video game. So it's like you're stuck in the non-playable character dialogue tree. He's so Twitter-brained, it's frightening.
Legalize comedy.
when I'm conversing with someone who's trapped in the dialogue tree of a conventional journalist, because it's like talking to a computer.
Talking to her is like talking to a computer. Talking to her, Elon? What? How do you say that when you're...
I'm conversing with someone who's trapped in the dialogue tree of a conventional journalist.
You just used the NPC unironically during a mainstream interview, and you're going to say she's the computer. Okay.
It's like talking to a computer. Doge is an advisory group. We are doing the best we can as an advisory group. The progress made thus far as an advisory group is excellent. I don't think any advisory group has done better in the history of advisory groups of the government. We do not make the laws, nor do we control the judiciary, nor do we control the executive branch. We are simply advisors. In that context, we are doing very well.
Isn't it interesting to hear the backing off of the original goals? It was when he was campaigning, throwing his cheese hat. We are going to find $2 trillion of waste in the budget, and we're going to cut it. Doge. And then it was, hold up. We're going to find $1 trillion, and we're going to cut it. Doge. And now it's, we did advice. Doge. Because they're dismantling wholesale institutions unconstitutionally, but still not able to save the government that much money in the grand scheme of things. Especially when you compare it to the tax cuts that he's not speaking out against, which are really going to exacerbate the fiscal irresponsibility problem that we have in this.
Are you going to continue to spend at that kind of level on future elections?
I think in terms of political spending, I'm going to do a lot less in the future.
And why is that?
So I guess this is from the Qatar Economic Forum.
In terms of political spending, I'm going to do a lot less in the future.
And why is that?
I think I've done enough.
Is it because of blowback?
Well, if I see a reason to do political spending in the future, I will do it. I do not currently see a reason.
So we went from I have to buy Twitter and I have to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to get Trump elected because otherwise the fate of humanity is death and it's over. And if Democrats get into power, everything's going to go to hell, even though it was getting better under Democrats when they were in power. And all of those things, right? And now it's, I don't see a need to spend anymore, which is good news. But just so all of you know, I think sometimes we can feel helpless and hopeless. But setting aside any law breaking, even just people individually choosing to speak out against Elon, to show up to town hall meetings, to indicate their shifting support against Republicans because of what he was doing, the backlash that he received made a difference. And he's now backing away from what he previously said, which he was going to go fund challengers to any candidates that weren't MAGA enough and funnel all of these millions of dollars to his pet issues. Now he's seen, because Republicans have told him that when he, like he did in the Wisconsin Supreme Court race, when he puts his finger on the scale, somehow that side goes the opposite direction as where he was wanting it to go. If you imagine a scale, right? So boom, scale. Wait, finger on the scale. Instead of it getting heavier, it gets lighter. Is that where that metaphor is? That doesn't make sense. You get my point. It does the opposite of what he'd like it to do. Okay, follow me. It's smart what I'm saying. Trust me. It's your listening skills that are making it seem like I'm saying something incoherent. And now he's backing away from politics, and that's a huge win. That's a huge win. But again, if you put, I like his jacket. I do like his jacket. It's kind of nice. Share your thoughts in the comments. Get the bonus show by clicking that join button on YouTube below.